Hey you guys, let's go over the guided notes for segment and segment addition. So, a line segment is different from a line because it's a piece of a line. And we can measure it because it has two endpoints. So if we look over here, so if this was A, that might be a little too big, huh? All right, let's try that. If that's A and this is B, then this would be segment AB. Or if we wanted to write it using our geometry symbols, we could do an AB with a little line segment on top. And remember, the order of the letters doesn't matter, so we could call it line segment BA. All right? Let's see if I can scooch up. There we go. So, when you have line segments that are the same measure, in geometry, we say that they are congruent. And we have a special symbol for congruent, and it's actually the similar figure and the equal sign put together. So similar over equal. That means congruent. And if two segments are congruent, their measures are equal. If their measures are equal, then the segments are congruent. So over here, if this is segment AB and this is segment CD, we would know they're congruent if their measures were the same. So if like this was 4 centimeters and this is 4 centimeters, we would know they're congruent. Another way that we could know is they're congruent is if they both have the same number of tick marks. So if this had 1 tick mark and this had 1 tick mark, then I know that they're congruent. And we could say AB is congruent to CD. All right? All right, and then we're going to pick up, a postulate, and it's called the segment addition postulate. So let's see here. We can make that one a little skinnier too, maybe darker, skinnier. Okay, anyway. All right, so the segment addition postulate says if B is between A and C, then AB plus BC equals AC. And between means they have to be collinear for geometry. So all this postulate's saying, and it's the segment addition postulate. And all this postulate is saying is that the length of this little piece plus the length of this little piece together make the length of the whole piece. So for example, if AB was 4 and BC was 10, then AC would be 14 because 4 plus 10 equals 14. The two pieces add up to the length of the big piece. All right, let's look at some examples of how we can use this. So for this one, all right, so first it tells us point N is between M and O. So that means N has got to be in the middle here, and we got M and O. They want us to find X, and then they want us to find the measure of NO. So using the segment addition postulate, we know that this little piece plus this little piece has to equal the whole piece. So this piece is 17 plus, it's adding because it's called the segment addition postulate. And this piece is 3x minus 5 equals this whole piece, which is 5x plus 2. And then we just solve it using algebra. So we can say 17 minus 5 is 12. So 12 plus 3x equals 5x plus 2. Then you want to put your x's on one side, so I'll subtract 3x. And we get 12 equals 5x minus 3x is 2x plus 2. I'm going to have to scoot up a little bit. To get rid of the plus 2, we'll subtract 2. 12 minus 2 is 10. If it's beside, you divide. And we get x equals 10 divided by 2 is 5. So that's part of the answer. For the other part, they want me to plug that 5 in so that we can find the length of NO. So here's NO right here, and that's 3x minus 5. But we know what x is. We just figured it out. It's 5. So 3 times, where we have x, we're going to put 5 minus 5. 3 times 5 is 15, and 15 minus 5 is 10. So NO equals 10, and that's the other half of our answer. So just to reiterate what we did, using the segment addition postulate, we know that the two small pieces of the segment add together to make the length of the whole piece. So we set up our equation, 17 plus 3x minus 5 equals 5x plus 2. And then we solved it like we solve a normal equation. Don't call me after midnight. Distribute, combine like terms, move the variable, undo addition and subtraction, undo multiplication and division. We got our answer. X is 5. And then to find the length of NO, this is the expression that represents the length of NO, except for x, we plug in that 5. And then 3 times 5 was 15. 15 minus 5 is 10. All right, so I want you guys to try to do this one. So pause the video and give it a try. All right, so let's do this problem. I'm going to have to do a little erasure here so I have some room. That does not work on this. Let me scoot and erase. All right, that should be plenty of room, right? All right, here we go. All right, so using the same principle here, it says point R is between Q and S. So point R is between Q and S. And then according to the segment addition postulate, this small piece plus this small piece will equal the length of the whole piece. So I'm going to say 3x plus 7, this piece, plus 28, which is this piece, equals the length of the whole segment, the great big segment, which is 8x. And then we'll just solve it using our normal steps for solving equations. So I can put 7 and 28 together. So we have 3x plus 35 equals 8x. And then we want to move our variables, get them together. So I'm going to subtract 3x. 8x minus 3x would be 5x. So we have 35 equals 5x. If it's beside, you divide. That'll cancel, and we get x equals 7. So that's half of our answer. For the other half, they want me to find the length of QS. So QS is this entire segment, and that's represented by 8x. So we'll come over here, 8x, but instead of x, we're going to plug in our 7. So that would be 8 times 7, which would be 56. Okay? All right, let's flip over to the back and do the other side. But for me, I'm just going to scooch. Scoochy, scoochy. All right, let's look at this one. So for this one, it says segment MH is split into 3 congruent pieces. And I know they're congruent because they each have 1 tick mark. So this is the same as this is the same as this. If I wanted to, I could come up with a variable and say, all right, well, MA is equal to X. And AT is got to be X also because they're congruent. And TH is also got to be X because it's congruent to these two. And it says the length of MH, so this whole thing is 18. So the same number added 3 times gives me 18. X plus X plus X equals 18. 3 times what number is 18? If it's the side you divide, and I'm going to come over here, sorry, we get X equals 6. So AT here would equal 6. And guess what? TH would be 6, and MA would also be 6. Not a very nice combination of numbers, but it is what it is. All right? I want you guys to pause the video and try this one. All right, let's do this next one. Pretty much the same as the last one, just different numbers. All right, let's get a new color up in here. All right, so it says segment XY, so this is this whole thing, is split into 3 congruent pieces. And again, I know that because they each have 1 tick mark. It says if the measure of segment AY is 12, so AY is this segment right here, and it equals 12, what is the measure of segment XY? So if these are congruent, if AY is 12, then RA is 12, and XR has also got to be 12. So the length of the whole segment would be 12 plus 12 plus 12, which is 36. Okay? All right, let's go down to this next part. All right, for this one, they're using some of the vocab, and they're saying that E is the midpoint. If E is the midpoint, that just means that's the middle. And if E is the middle, then I know that this little piece is congruent to this little piece. So I can say that 4x plus 6 has got to be equal to 7x minus 9. So I'll subtract 4x, and we get 6 equals 3x minus 9. And then to get rid of a minus 9, we add 9. 6 plus 9 is 15. So 15 equals 3x. If it's beside, you divide. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. So x is 5, but that doesn't answer the question. The question is, they want us to find all the lengths. So GE, which is from here to here, is 4x plus 6. So that would be 4 times 5 plus 6. And 4 times 5 is 20. And 20 plus 6 is 26. So GE equals 26. All right, they also want me to find EM. But here's the thing. This is congruent to this. So guess what EM is going to be? 26. I don't even need to do the math. All right, so if this little piece is 26 and this little piece is 26, then the length of the whole segment would be 26 plus 26. So GM would be 2 26s, which is 52. Sorry. All right. If you need to pause and write stuff, you can do that. All right, let's scroll down to here. All right, it says S is at over 2 up 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not very pretty. T is at over 2 up 3. So there's that segment. That says T. And then it says A is at over 4 up 3. And R is at 4 negative 3. So 4 to the right, down 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so, well, whoops. The length of this segment is 1, 2 spaces. And the length of this segment's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. So, are they congruent? The answer is no, because they're not equal. If they're not congruent, they can't be equal, period. All right, now you have a worksheet to do on this lesson. All right, it looks like this. It has a front and a back. Let's just look at a couple examples from the worksheet. So, for this section, they just want you to say what segments are congruent. So, for like this one, 4 centimeters, 4 centimeters. They're equal, therefore they are congruent. So I would say segment AD is congruent to this segment, which is BC. And you just do that for each one of those. Some of them have 2, so here, these are congruent and these are congruent, so you'll have 2 statements. Down here, they just want you to use the segment addition postulate, and these are kind of simple ones. So let's look at number 8. All right, so here, they say that this whole piece is 44, and that this is x. Well, if this is x, this is x. So we have 28 plus 1, 2 x's equals 44. And then subtract 28. So we get 2x equals 16. Divide by 2. And we get x equals 16 divided by 2 is 8. And for these problems, they just want you to find x, okay? All right. Oops. All right, let's go over here. For these, they don't give you the line, so you have to draw it, and I will do the best I can. Let's look at number 13. So you have a line, A, B, C, B is in between. So it's not drawn to scale, you guys. A, B, C. It says find AB, question mark. If AC is 11, so AC, this whole thing is 11, and BC is 1. So BC is 1. 1 plus what equals 11? 10. So AB has to equal 10. Okay? All right, let's go to this next part. Let's look at 19. It's the same image. I'm actually going to draw the picture up here so I have more room. So here's my line, my A, my B, and my C. And it says find X if AB is 7. So AB is 7. AC is X plus 21. So that's the whole thing is X plus 21. And BC is, sorry y'all, 2X plus 24. I need another color. All right, so BC, I don't have room. Whoop, whoop, is 2X plus 24. All right, so we set up our equation, this little piece. So 7 plus this little piece, 2X plus 24, equals the whole piece, which is X plus 21. So 7 and 24 is 31 plus 2X equals X plus 21. I'm going to subtract X from each side. And I'm going to go over here and we get 31 equals 2X minus, oh, sorry. Boop, 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 boop. 31. 2x minus x is x equals 21. Subtract 31. And we get x equals negative 10. And it's okay to get a negative x. You just should never get a negative for the length of a segment. All right, so that was number 19. We got one more section. Yeah. All right, so let's look at number 21. All right, so the same deal here. We got a segment with A, B, and C. And this time they want me to find AC. So once I get my X, I'll have to plug it back in. And it says that AC, so the length of the whole segment is 2x minus 8. And it says that BC is negative 4 plus x. So BC is negative 4 plus x. And it says that AB is 7. So this piece is 7. So I'm going to say this little piece, 7, plus this little piece, negative 4 plus x equals this whole piece, which is 2x minus 8. And then 7 plus negative 4 is 3 plus x equals 2x minus 8. And then I'll subtract x. And I'm going to have to come down here. I'm out of room. So we get 3 equals x minus 8. To get rid of the minus 8, we'll add 8. And 3 plus 8 is 11. So x is 11. So I'm working on 21. I know I'm all over the place. So we get x equals 11. And then to find AC, AC is 2x minus 8. So we'll do 2. But instead of x, we're going to plug in 11 minus 8. 2 times 11 is 22. And 22 minus 8 is 14. So that's the final answer for number 21. All right, you guys finish the rest of the problems on this worksheet. Okay? Thank you.